Vidya Prakashan Mandir Private Limited.
Hello students, let us learn general science for class 6 from the book Science Squad. Let us learn chapter 6 changes around us. In this chapter, we shall discuss about the periodic and non-periodic changes, desirable and undesirable changes, slow and fast changes, reversible and irreversible changes, physical and chemical changes, changes involved in interaction, energy, and solubility. Let us begin the chapter. Change is a law of nature. We observe many materials activities such as burning of fuel, running of vehicles and machines, rusting of iron, glowing of bulb, burning of candle, freezing of water, boiling of water, breaking of glass, melting of ice, etc. This is the burning of, glowing of bulb, freezing of water, boiling of water, breaking of glass, melting of ice. All these activities, there is a change in the color, shape, size, state, temperature, composition, etc. You can see these activities are different from the other. That means that all the changes are not of same kind. The study of these changes will help us to understand their causes and effects. However, every change has some causes that brings about the change. Let us learn about periodic and non-periodic changes. Changes which repeats again and again after a fixed interval of time and whose occurrences can be predicted or called periodic changes. That is, you can say this time, this day, or this fixable time occurrence, it takes place again and again. For example, autumn, summer season, spring season, winter season, phases of moon, high and low tides, heartbeat, position, etc. But there are some changes which do not repeat themselves at regular intervals of time and whose occurrence cannot be predicted or called non-periodic changes. It includes occurrence of earthquakes. We don't know when earthquakes come. We don't know when land train accidents will take place. We don't know when we sneeze. We don't know when cyclones will come. We don't know when landslides will take place. These changes, these are known as non-periodic changes. Desirable and undesirable changes. Desirable is what you want to, and undesirable is what you don't want to. Changes which are useful to us are called desirable changes. It includes making of curd from milk, formation of manure from plant and animal waste, and cooking of food. There are some changes which are harmful to us. These are called undesirable changes. It includes spoiling of food, flooding of river, breaking of a glass tumbler. Curd is very important for us. It is a very desirable change. Manures from plants and animal waste. Slow and fast changes. The changes which takes place over a longer duration of time are called slow changes. That is, the changes may take for longer period. It includes growth of a tree, changes in season, weathering of rocks, evaporation of water, aging of human, rusting of iron, all these changes will take place slowly. The changes which takes place very quickly and fastly are known as fast changes. Which can be burn? Burning of matchstick is fast. Spinning of a top is faster. We can burn the paper very quickly. We can burst the balloon quickly. We can break a brick with a hammer. Exploding a cracker. These are all quick, faster changes. Reversible and irreversible changes. The changes which can be reversed, that is, which can be come to back, is called reversible changes. That it includes pulling off rubber string or spring, melting of wax. When you stop melting, we can bring back the wax again. Melting of ice, when you keep in freezer again, we'll get the ice back. Vaporization of water, when we condense, we'll get the water back. Pulling of rubber band, if you stop pulling it, will become a normal string again, rubber string again. The changes which cannot be reversed back is called irreversible changes. Seed germination. Aging cannot come back. Burning of paper cannot come back. Souring of milk. We cannot redo the fermentation again. Breaking of a glass tumbler. We cannot put back the glass tumbler again. Physical changes. A physical change is a change in the state, shape, size, color, etc. But no new substances is formed in the physical change. By reversing, we get back the original substance. Examples: breaking of a chalk or glass tumbler or a wooden stick. Yes, that is only the breakage. That is a change in state or shape. But no new substances are formed. When they break, there becomes two chalk pieces only. When we break the glass, there will be pieces of glasses only. When you break a stick, wooden stick, there will be only two pieces of wooden sticks. Dissolving of common salt in water. Water can be evaporated back to the salt. Melting of ice forms water, which on cooling becomes ice again. Yes. When you melt the ice, it becomes water, and when you solidify the water, it becomes ice. When ice melts, it forms water. When water evaporates, it becomes steam. When steam condenses, it forms water. When water solidifies, it becomes ice. Repeating again, when ice melts, it forms water. Water on evaporation becomes steam. Steam on condensation gets converted into water, and water gets solidified back into the ice. Boiling of water forms steam, and condensation of steam forms the water back. These are all physical changes with no new substances formed. Magnetizing an iron nail. Let us perform an activity to understand the physical change. Take some water in a dish. Dissolve a teaspoonful of common salt in it. Take a dish, take water with it, dissolve some common salt in it. The common salt forms a solution. Now heat the solution till the water gets evaporated. What you will notice is that the white powder left behind is a dish. Though no new substances has been formed. It is a common salt which you have dissolved in the water only is left behind. So this is a activity performed for understanding the physical change. Physical change takes place with no new substances formed. Let us learn about the chemical change. A change in which the composition of substance is altered. That is, a new substance is formed by altering the composition of the substance. As a result, the original properties gets changed and one or more new substances are formed. However, the chemical changes cannot be reversed like physical change. Okay. Example, burning of a paper. We cannot bring back the paper. And what does the burning of paper leads to? It gives you ashes. So that is a new substance formed, and gases, one or more new substances. Agarbatti, when agarbatti is burned, we'll get the ashes and gases. Yes, we cannot reverse it back. We cannot reverse it back to agarbatti. Burning of candle produces carbon dioxide and water vapors, producing new substances. So we cannot replace the candle back. Rusting of iron turns into reddish brown brittle solid. Irons getting rusted. Germination of seed changes into stem and leaves. We cannot change back the stems and leaves back to the seed. Let us learn about the changes involving interaction. When two or more materials comes in interact, the changes will take place. What happens when we sharpen a pencil with a sharpener? We know that both the pencil and the blade of the sharpener undergo changes. Yes? When you keep shaping the pencil with a sharpener, the blade of the sharpener gets blunt, whereas the pencil becomes shorter and the pencil tip becomes sharper. The change in the pencil is that it becomes sharper and pencil gets reduced in its size. But the change in the blade can be seen only after its repeated use when it becomes blunt. Similarly, when a matchstick is struck on the side of a matchbox, it catches fire. We also see a scratch on the side of the matchbox. You can see a scratch of what you have done in a new matchbox. Try it out. Some changes takes place without interaction, like magnet attracting iron particles. That also happens. These are also changes we can say. Changes involving energy. A change cannot take place without the involvement of energy. Energy is neither released or absorbed. All changes involve energy in one or the other form. The changes during which energy is released are called exothermic reactions. We can say the changes takes place with a release of energy. The changes during which energy is absorbed are called endothermic reaction. When the heat is released or when the energy is released in the form of heat, we call it as a exothermic. When the energy is released, absorbed in the form of heat is known as endothermic reaction. When the heat in the form of energy is released, we call it as a exothermic. When the energy is absorbed in the form of heat are called endothermic reaction. Exothermic example, changes of water vapor into liquid water, burning of fuels to produce heat and light energy. Endothermic, when spirit or petrol is put on the palm of the hand, what happens? It evaporates quickly and we feel cooling in our hand. Yes? We can even use our spray, body spray. Similarly, if you put a small amount of glucose on your tongue, what happens? Your tongue feels cool. Let us have a chapter recap. There are many changes taking place around us. Changes may be classified as periodic or non-periodic, desirable or undesirable, slow or fast, reversible or irreversible, physical or chemical. A change always has some causes which brings it about. Physical change is a change in which no new substances is formed. Chemical change is a change in which new substances is formed due to alteration of the composition. Every change involves interaction of at least two substances. Every change involves energy in one or the other. During a change, energy is either absorbed or released. The change depends upon the nature and the intensity of the interaction. This ends the chapter 6.
Vidya Prakashan Mandir Private Limited.